In 2019, a merchant in Sikar reached the biological limit. Doctors in Delhi had officially ceased intervention, informing his family that clinical recovery was no longer an option. His wife traveled to a village in Rajasthan, offering a single prayer at a local shrine. By the following morning, the merchant's condition had improved so rapidly that the medical team recorded it as a complete anomaly in their files. This case isn't an isolated event. It is the driving force behind this village. Every year, millions of people descend on Khatu, forming these massive, intricate human rivers that flow toward a single point of hope. But the focus of their devotion is unlike any other in India. They are not here to see a traditional full-bodied idol. They have come to bow before a severed head. The environment itself presents unexplained physical traits. Beside the temple sits the Shyam Kund, a sacred tank with no detectable inlet or outlet. Despite heavy usage by millions of pilgrims and the harsh desert sun, the water level never recedes. This raises a difficult question for the modern observer. Are we looking at a localized psychological phenomenon, or is there a tangible power at work here that clinical records simply haven't learned to categorize? To find the source of this reputation, we return to the Mahabharata and the warrior Barbarik. He was the grandson of the powerhouse Bhima, born with the massive strength of the giants and the technical discipline of a master archer. Barbarik sought out the highest level of combat training, receiving 3 infallible arrows from Shiva. These were weapons designed to end a conflict before it even began. The system worked with chilling logic. 1 arrow would mark every target on the battlefield. A second would mark everything to be spared. The third would execute the strike, ensuring the total annihilation of the enemy with 0 collateral damage. But Barbarik carried a restriction that made him a global threat. He promised his mother he would only fight for the side that was currently losing. Krishna realized this promise created a loop of perpetual war. If Barbarik joined the losing side, they would instantly win, making the other side the new losers. Barbarik would then be forced to switch sides and destroy his previous allies. He would keep switching until every soldier on both sides was erased. To stop this chain reaction, Krishna met him in the forest disguised as a Brahmin. He needed to prove Barbarik's skill was as rumored. Krishna asked him to pierce every leaf on a massive tree with a single shot. Barbarik released the arrow. It perforated every leaf on the branches, and then began to hover over Krishna's foot, waiting for the final leaf hidden beneath his heel. Witnessing this absolute precision, Krishna revealed his true form. He explained that a warrior of this caliber could not enter the war without ending the world, and requested Barbarik's head as a sacrificial offering. Barbarik agreed, but he still wished to see the battle. Krishna granted him a witness clause, placing his conscious head on a high hill where he could watch all 18 days of the war. By losing his head, Barbarik was forced to shift from a player in the game to its ultimate spectator. He gave up the power to destroy and gained the power of total perspective. For centuries, the head remained hidden, until a villager in Khatu noticed a cow stopping at a specific spot. It released its milk into the ground, a sign of something sacred waiting beneath the surface. When they excavated the site, they found the head of Barbarik. King Rup Singh Chauhan built the first temple there in 1027 AD, and the site quickly became famous for reports of spontaneous healing. This fame eventually invited conflict. The Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb arrived with orders to dismantle the temple and its artifacts, seeking to erase local religious identities. Local records describe the moment the imperial soldiers struck the temple's masonry with their spears. Instead of shattering, the stone began to bleed. The sight of blood erupting from the artifacts caused a panic among the troops, who fled the village without completing the demolition. This pattern of survival, spanning 1,000 years of shifting empires, suggests the temple is a site of active defense. It has preserved itself through a history of anomalies that discourage intrusion. The modern pilgrimage mirrors this history of physical endurance. Devotees participate in the Nishan Yatra, a 17-kilometer march from the Ringa station to the temple, walking barefoot over the sun-scorched earth. They carry these yellow banners, or nishans, which represent their personal struggles. To the pilgrim, these aren't just flags. They are symbols of their own defeats and burdens being carried to the gate of the shrine. After hours of heat and exhaustion, the body's reserves are depleted. The mind stops trying to strategize or control its problems through sheer effort. This is the quantum of faith, a sudden leap where the ego finally lets go, mimicking Barbarik's own surrender of his will. Khatu Shyam has become the sanctuary for those who have nowhere left to go. In a world that demands we always win, this site suggests that real peace begins only when we stop fighting the world and start learning how to surrender to it.